was like, JB was saying that NATO won't go to war with Russia because like they have nukes and stuff. But you guys are familiar with the first strike nuclear strategy, right? It's
Are you
basically
talking
first
about
strike.
MAD or
No,
first
it's
strike? Okay.
yeah, basically,
strike.
yeah, it's basically a country's ability to like defeat another nuclear power's nuclear
Yep.
arsenal very quickly, so they cannot like retaliate. So I was like thinking about that. Like, I think that NATO, like getting closer to Russia, they might be planning on a first strike policy in case a war breaks out. So
No.
that's what I was thinking. You
There-
guys
there's
can.
there's
Nuclear
so many ways
submarine
to look at it.
has killed the first strike ID, I think.
There's honestly so many ways you could look at it. I don't know. When it comes to nukes, right? The whole argument about, oh, this country has nukes, so they won't do this or that, right? I don't buy it, man. I really don't buy it. Why does conflict still exist, right? If you're going to fight against someone who has nuclear bombs, why would you fight them at all? Therefore, why are we even in a place where war exists? You can just get nuked, can't you?
And I think the problem is not through invasion from outside. It's no longer going to happen because even when Russia tried to invade Ukraine, it's very, very hard, okay? Because immediately a lot of countries going to help the invaded country, and it's going to be a very big mess. So invasion is out of the table, I think. The way to destroy a country is from inside. You have a better luck with Netflix than with your own army.
Yep.
And you have to use NGO, you have to use a political party, basically Navalny and the NED.
No, Shadow. We're talking about the same thing, right? My whole point is, why do we have to talk about nukes, right? There's so many other ways that you can defeat your enemy at this point.
Yes.
That you and me are talking about the same.
Nukes is a very dangerous thing because a crazy guy could destroy everybody. That's why we have to be very careful about it.
Yeah.
There is some crazy guy outside, sadly, but the main battle is not going to be nuclear. I hope.
Yeah, you were talking about like what creating political instability, like and NGOs like NED and funding revolutions and protests. Like that's what the US did in Belarus and Ukraine, right?
Yes.
That's how they that's how the Maidan coup took place in 2014, and that's what happened in 2020 in the Belarusian protests. Like the NED, the NED had literally admitted that they funded Belarusian protests, so you cannot disagree with that. Like they literally admitted.
No, but dude, they stand for democracy and freedom, right?
Yes, sure.
They stand for democracy and freedom. You don't understand that.
Exactly.
No, but you're making a very good point. Ignore my sarcasm. The thing is, it's not just in Belarus or Ukraine, right? You see this happening. Shit, you saw this happen in Georgia. This happened 8 months. Did everyone forget about what happened in Georgia 8 months ago? This happened, right? There was a huge revolt that was thrown up for literally no reason, and everyone forgot it, swept it under the rug.
And also Kazakhstan happened in late 2021.
Every country, basically. Except Saudi Arabia, I don't know why, but they have no problem with NED.
Pakistan.
Small point I'd like to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've wondered for a long time, about what JV was talking about before, and you guys about the degeneracy that's been sort of overtaking the U.S. and I've wondered a lot, what does it mean? What's the intention? What's the purpose? Who benefits from it? And because one part is what JV was saying, that we're experimenting with a lot of different social options and tolerance and whatever, but it's too far pushed. It's here it's become really popular in South America because culture is contagious, especially from the major cultural exporter of the world, which is the US. So here it happens too, but you see what's going on over there, and it's way far-fetched. It's totally blown out of proportion. And so like, what is the purpose? And one of my speculations on that, because I don't think it's a single cause, it's like it's like a snowball effect. But one of the reasons I've seen is that to make like these social norms, new social norms that are so outstretched, so absolutely ridiculous that you can use them as a geopolitical tool, a lever, you know? So like you make gay tolerance, which is fine. Everyone can agree with it. Well, not everyone, but it's something logical, right? And female equality and whatever. And suddenly you have to mutilate your kids and affirm their gender confusion. And so any country that doesn't follow the line, you automatically have a geopolitical excuse to sanction them, to isolate. And I've seen that, like with Salvador and, you know, and I think Nigeria, maybe African countries that have also like tried to defend the family unit and whatever. And so like
you're actually making a very good point.
When you're whatever country in the world doesn't apply your geopolitical strategy or interests 100%, you can immediately grab onto any far-fetched tolerance source and start putting pressure. That's what I want to say about that.
No, yeah, I just want to add on to that point. It's a genius geopolitical strategy, because you use the cloak of being tolerant and accepting people for who they are as a tool to essentially make a play for world domination. Now that's a very maniacally over the top villainous thing, but like it's a very subtle tool to be like, okay, this is how we can gain influence across the whole world.
Yeah, right? I think if you totally deracinate a society where they have nothing else but the government to look towards, and you control the government, well then you know de facto control that country, right? So what the United States has done by spreading the global homo agenda, whatever you want to call it, they basically just I'm the oldest, certainly the oldest American here. I can say that, in my lifetime, I can't believe, I'm living in clown world here.